The Children's Civilization and Creative Center is a children's museum in Heliopolis, Cairo. It opened in 2012 and covers 4,000 square meters in a 14-foot dance, 14.3-acre landscape. It was built by the Heliopolis Society for the benefit of all children of Egypt. This work involved contributions from Egyptians and international museums and institutions. The museum's building was designed to showcase Egypt's ancient and modern history, starting from time-telling through the shadow-gogging during the period of the ancient Egyptian civilization up to the modern science of astronomy in Egypt's contemporary history. The building consists of a basement, a ground floor, a first floor, and a second floor, and a celestial sphere. The ground level comprises three main areas that introduce the children to the three seasons which shaped the life nature of the ancient Egyptians: the flood season, the planting season, and the harvest season. Over and above, the place demonstrates the activities the ancient Egyptians used to participate during each of those seasons. The water game. It's a beautiful game which explains to the children the impact of setting up dams on the surrounding environment. In addition, it introduces them to the way of transferring water adopted by the ancient Egyptian peasants.
The second floor, we talk about the daily life in ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians used to divide their year into three seasons. The first season is flood season, when the Nile River is full of water, and the ancient Egyptians invented three irrigation tools to help them to water their lands. The first tool is called the water wheel. The second tool is called the shaduf. And the third one is called the tambour. We also can see different kinds of boats with which the pharaohs invented. Also, we can enter inside their schools. They used to call their school the House of Life.
Here, there is the House of Life, or in other words, the ancient Egyptian school. In this school, the children get to know the hieroglyphics, or the language of ancient Egypt. Furthermore, they get to see an embodied replica of the Rosetta Stone, which was the key to unraveling the enigma of the hieroglyphics that the ancient Egyptians used as a written language on papyrus, pyramids, and religious texts. The children, as well, come to know something about the science of mathematics and arithmetic at the time of the ancient Egyptians, and how they excelled in that domain.
And then we'll see the second season, which is the agriculture season. They began to plant the crops, and the animals helped them planting these crops.
After the flood season comes the planting season. This period starts following the ebb of the Nile water away from the land. During this time, the peasants can plant their lands. The season extends from November till April. The children would then watch a documentary about the methods used by the ancient Egyptian peasants in cultivating land and the tools they used to employ for that aim.
ويشكل اليد ويجفف في الشمس استعدادا لإعادة التصليح وإعادة بناء الجدران والمباني. بمجرد إصلاح الحقول وقنوات الري كان يتم إعدادها للزراعة. لقد زرع قدماء المصريين مجموعة كبيرة من المحاصيل بما في ذلك القمح والشعير والكتان والبصل والكراث والثوم والفاصوليا والخس والعدس والكرنب والفجل واللفت والعنب والتين والبرقوق والبطيخ. كان لديه أدوات الزراعة والمحاريث. لبعض من المحاصيل مثل البصل والكراث كانت الأرض تعد باستعمال فأس الدراسين. التربة كانت تفحت وترتب النباتات الصغيرة عليها.
One of the most famous crops in ancient Egypt is wheat. We began to plant some wheat spikes. Also, we can play a farm game and we can play a puzzle game. And then the pharaohs, in their spare time between the agriculture season and harvest season, they began to build the temples. At the Ramesseum temple, we can find that the temple is broken down and we have to rebuild it again.
Construction, as related to the ancient Egyptians, was connected with the planting season. Here, the children, in a simplified way, through a group of embodied puzzle game, get to know something about the art of ancient Egyptian architecture, methods, and tools of construction, as well as the design and style of the ancient Egyptian houses.
And then we'll enter to the last season in the year, which is the harvest season.
The harvest season falls within the months of May, June, and July. Via a documentary, the children become familiar with the traditions of the ancient Egyptians during the harvest season and during the period that follows in terms of festivals and celebration.
كان هناك توازنا مخفيا ما بين خصوبة التربة الغنية وماء النهر الإعطاء وطاقة الشمس القوية. عندما تتوازن كل هذه الأشياء معا تنضج المحاصيل وتصبح مصر جنة وموقع الخمر. الحصاد كان وقت الأنشطة الكبيرة والطاقة العظيمة. توفر المحاصيل قرارات كبيرة على المزارعين الذين وجب عليهم أن يعملوا من شروق إلى غروب الشمس. أرض الدراس كانت قطعة معدة خصيصة مستوية ونظيفة حيث يمكن فصل سنابل القمح من النبات ذاته. الماشية أو الخراف حبوب القمح القيمة كانت تسجل بحرص وتخزن في صوامع مادية خصيصة. البعض منها كان لزاما أن يدفع للفرعون كجزية أو ضريبة، وبعضها يحتفظ بها المزارع لتنمية أسرته.
The pharaohs began to collect their crops and they can take it to the market to sell and buy. They can exchange with each other because they didn't got money.
Now we arrive in the marketplace area. With the advent of the harvest season, markets boom and get filled with crops. Here the children get introduced to the crops planted by the ancient Egyptians. They also discovered ways of raising dough to make bread, as practiced by the ancient Egyptians.
and at the last 5 days in the year, they began to wear the new clothes because this is their festivals and celebrations. They wear the new clothes, they play music, and they can dance and sing and do different kinds of things.
With the arrival of the harvest season come festivals and celebrations. Hence, villages start to vibrate with music. Among the most famous musical instruments in the ancient Egyptian age, the harp.
The target of this that we want the children to know their history, the ancient Egyptians' history, to interact with this history and with their ancestors. They can know many information about their ancestors. What did they do? They also can benefit from this. They can do this now in present, yes, and they can also they can see how the pharaohs do some stuff which we can do nowadays, like how did they plant their crops and what did we do right now, the tools that they use to make their things, like if they want to build a temple or something, what did they use, their tools. Also we can see their traditions, the customs, the clothes that they used to wear, the perfumes, the makeup, the jewelry, also their crops that they used to plant, what did they used to eat, and different kinds of things which we would like them to know about the ancient Egyptians.
الأنشطة الأولى الأنشطة مرتبطة بالعام الدراسي، ودي مرتبطة بزيارات المدارس الموجودة طوال العام الدراسي كله، وده عبارة عن برامج بنعدها بإعداد متميز بالمراحل السنية المختلفة للمراحل التعليم، من رياض الأطفال لغاية المرحلة الثانوية. بالإضافة إحنا عندنا نشاطين صيفي ونشاط شتوي. في الصيف عندنا برنامج صيفي لمدة 3 شهور، وهذا البرنامج أيضا مبني على أساس إن على ثيمة معينة، وهذه الثيمة بنتبناها خلال ال3 شهور، والأطفال بيشتغلوا على هذه الثيمة من خلال زي البساط السحري، إن بنوري له العالم كله شكل. إحنا بنحاول برضه نوري أطفالنا مش إحنا لوحدينا اللي عندنا حضارة في العالم، عشان ما يبقاش لا، إحنا في عالم تاني، في دول تانية عندها حضارات ولازم يتعرفوا عليها، على أساس إن إحنا مش عايشين في عالم لوحدنا. عندنا برضه برنامج شتوي برضه بيركز على مجموعة من القيم. هذه القيم إحنا بنحاول نرسخها في الأطفال، وخاصة في المرحلة الحالية، زي قيم التسامح وقيم معاملة الغير، وإن إن إحنا يبقى بيننا وبين كل البشر كل الناس بشأن اللون والجنس والعرق، كل ده إحنا عالم إنساني بنتعامل مع بعض من خلال إنسان لإنسان دون النظر إلى هذه الفروق.
Afterwards, the children would end their visit to the ground floor by going to an ancient Egyptian house. They would see a model of such a place, with all its contents of furniture, ornaments, and finery. As we wind up our tour inside the museum, we find out that it's an interactive, entertaining, and cultivating entity which aims to create good times for the children and their families by presenting educational and informative programs and activities that were carefully prepared and set so as to cope with the latest teaching theories for children.